Daniel was on the night shift when the stars began to disappear. He worked at the Deep Space Observation Center in Nevada. It was a quiet job. Most nights were calm. He checked star maps, watched signals, and drank too much coffee. That night felt normal. Until it wasn't. At 2:17 a.m., one small alert appeared on his screen. A red dot blinked. System error, Sector 14. Daniel frowned. Sector 14 belonged to the Zereth Empire, one of the strongest alien powers in the galaxy. Their ships filled thousands of systems. Their defense grid was known to be impossible to break. He thought it was a small glitch. He reset the system. The red dot did not disappear. Instead, 3 more appeared. Then 10. Then 50. Daniel sat up straight. He zoomed out on the galactic map. And his blood ran cold. Entire star systems were going dark. Not exploding. Not under attack. Just, gone. Their signals stopped. Their communication towers silent. Their fleets vanished from radar. Control, this is Daniel. I think we have a major sensor failure, he said into the mic. There was silence on the other side. Then a nervous voice answered. It's not just you. Every station is reporting the same thing. Daniel's fingers moved fast across the keyboard. He opened live feeds from different parts of the galaxy. The Karth Dominion, offline. The Valoran Union, offline. The strongest military alliance ever formed, silent. It was happening too fast. This was not war. Wars took time. This was something else. At 2:24 a.m., the Galactic Council emergency channel activated. It was something humans rarely had access to. But now, the channel was open to all civilizations. And it was full of panic. Alien voices shouted over each other. Our outer colonies are gone. We cannot reach our fleets. Our core systems are collapsing. Daniel listened, heart pounding. Then the worst message came. The Zereth homeworld has gone dark. That was impossible. The Zereth had shields around their star itself. Nothing could reach them without being detected years in advance. Yet their sun still burned, but every ship, every station, every signal around it was silent. Like someone had turned off a switch. Daniel looked up at the sky through the large glass dome above the station. The stars looked normal. But they were not. Some of the brightest stars were missing. Dark spaces now sat where powerful empires once ruled. And it was only getting worse. At 2:31 a.m., another system vanished. Then another. Then another. It was spreading across the galaxy like a shadow. Daniel whispered, "What is doing this?" No explosions. No enemy fleets. No warning. Just silence. Suddenly, the Galactic Council channel went quiet. One by one, the alien voices stopped. The signal dropped. Daniel checked the source. The Council's central station, offline. The galaxy had just lost its leaders. His breathing became heavy. He quickly pulled up Earth systems. Satellites, active. Defense grid, active. Lunar bases, normal. Mars colony, online. Nothing was wrong. Earth was untouched. He contacted other human stations around the planet. All systems normal. How is that possible? Someone asked. Daniel had no answer. Outside, the world slept peacefully. Cities were quiet. Airplanes crossed the sky. People dreamed in their homes. They had no idea the galaxy was falling apart. At 2:45 a.m., the collapse stopped. As suddenly as it had begun, it ended. The map no longer changed. Daniel stared at what remained. More than half the known galaxy was dark. Empires older than humanity were gone in less than 30 minutes. Billions of ships. Trillions of lives. Silent. And Earth was still there. Alone. A slow realization filled the room. Every alien power that once looked down on humanity. Every empire that called humans young and weak. They were gone. And humanity was still breathing. Daniel leaned back in his chair. This wasn't random, he said quietly. Somewhere, something had chosen who would survive. And for reasons no one understood. It had chosen humanity. The stars had gone dark. The galaxy had fallen overnight. And now, without warning, the future belonged to Earth. But deep in the empty space beyond Jupiter, something unseen was moving. Watching. Waiting. And it had not finished yet. The galaxy did not recover the next morning. It did not recover the next week either. The dark systems remained dark. No signals returned. No fleets answered. No survivors called for help. Earth sent probes toward the nearest fallen empire. The probes reached the outer edge of the Karth Dominion after 6 days. They found ships floating in space. Not destroyed. Not burned. Just empty. Power systems were dead. Weapons offline. Life support silent. It looked as if time itself had stopped. Inside one massive alien cruiser, human drones recorded something strange. Every control screen displayed the same symbol. A circle. With a single vertical line through it. No language. No explanation. Just the symbol. Scientists on Earth tried to decode it. They found nothing in any known alien database. It did not match any empire's mark. It was older. Much older. Then something even stranger happened. At exactly 3:03 a.m., 3 nights after the collapse, every screen on Earth flickered. Phones. Televisions. Military monitors. Space station displays. All of them turned black. For 3 seconds. The world froze. Then white text appeared. Not in English. Not in any alien language. But somehow, everyone understood it. The message was simple. Phase 1 complete. Across the planet, people stared at their screens in silence. Then the message disappeared. Systems returned to normal. But nothing felt normal anymore. Emergency meetings began immediately. World leaders gathered underground. Military generals prepared for attack. Scientists worked without sleep. Daniel was called back to the observation center. He replayed the signal hundreds of times. There was no clear source. It did not come from a ship. It did not come from a planet. It came from everywhere. Like the galaxy itself had spoken. Then the deep space scanners detected something new. Beyond Pluto's orbit, far in the outer darkness, a faint energy reading appeared. It was not moving fast. It was not sending signals. It was just, there. A structure. Huge. Larger than anything humans had ever built. At first, the system marked it as an asteroid. But asteroids do not emit controlled energy pulses. And they do not suddenly appear. Daniel zoomed in. The image was blurry. But he could see shape. Straight lines. Perfect angles. Artificial. The room grew silent. Is it a ship? Someone asked. Daniel shook his head slowly. No, he said. It's too big. The object did not attack. It did not send warnings. It just waited. Like it was observing. Humanity launched small stealth probes toward it. As the probes got closer, strange things began to happen. One probe lost power without damage. Another froze in space, systems locked. The third managed to send back one clear image before going dark. The symbol. The circle with the line. Carved into the surface of the structure. It was not a fleet. It was not an invasion force. It was something else. A machine. And it had survived the collapse. Daniel stared at the image for a long time. Then he noticed something hidden in the signal data. A pattern. The energy pulses from the structure matched the exact timing of the galaxy's systems going dark. It was connected. This machine had triggered the fall. But why was Earth still alive? The answer came from an unexpected place. Old alien records. Years ago, before the collapse, some minor alien races had warned the Galactic Council about something called the reset. The Council ignored them. They said it was a myth. A story about an ancient race that once ruled the entire galaxy. A race that believed no civilization should grow too powerful. If one did, the reset would begin. Daniel felt a chill. What if this is not an attack, he whispered. What if it's maintenance? The room went silent. The machine beyond Pluto pulsed again. Slow. Calm. Patient. And for the first time, humanity understood something terrifying. The galaxy had not been destroyed. It had been cleaned. And Earth had been spared. But spared does not mean safe. Because if this machine was still active, then Phase 2 was coming. And this time, it might not ignore humanity. For 6 days, the machine beyond Pluto did nothing. It did not move closer. It did not attack. It did not send another message. It simply waited. And that waiting was worse than war. Earth was not built for silence like this. Humans were used to problems they could see. Enemies they could fight. Storms they could prepare for. But this was different. Daniel barely slept. He watched the deep space feed every hour. The machine's energy pulses followed a pattern. Slow. Exact. Perfect. It was counting. On the 7th night, the sky above Earth changed. At first, it looked like a shooting star. Then 10 more followed. Then hundreds. They were not meteors. They were lights. Blue-white streaks moving too straight, too controlled. Cities across the world looked up. Phones recorded the sky. Children pointed in wonder. Then satellites began to fail. GPS systems shut down. Communication towers flickered. Military radar screens filled with static. Daniel's screen went black for 2 seconds. When it came back online, a new alert appeared. Orbital breach detected. Above Earth's atmosphere, space itself seemed to bend. Like a thin layer of glass cracking. A circular opening formed in orbit. Not fire. Not explosion. A clean, perfect circle. And from that circle, something emerged. A structure shaped like a ring. Metallic. Smooth. Silent. It did not look aggressive. It looked precise. Cold. The machine beyond Pluto had not moved. But now humanity understood. It had sent something smaller. A tool. Panic spread across global command centers. Is it attacking? No weapon charge detected. Energy buildup increasing. The ring in orbit began to glow. A soft blue light spread along its surface. Daniel's heart pounded. Then the power grid in Asia shut down. Not destroyed. Just turned off. Seconds later, Europe lost power. Then South America. The ring was not firing weapons. It was disabling Earth. Piece by piece. Controlled. Measured. This is Phase 2, Daniel whispered. The ancient system was checking humanity. Testing. Across the world, emergency systems activated. Backup generators powered hospitals. Military bases switched to isolated grids. But the ring adjusted. Each time humans adapted, it responded. Faster. Smarter. Like it was learning. Then something unexpected happened. The ring paused. Its glow dimmed. For 3 long seconds, it did nothing. Then every screen on Earth activated again. The same white text appeared. Civilization level, rising. A second line followed. Assessment, incomplete. The message vanished. The ring in orbit stopped draining power. It remained there, silent. Watching. Daniel leaned forward. "It's studying us," he said. "Not destroying. Not conquering. Studying." The ancient race that created this system did not fear violence. They feared growth. They feared a civilization becoming too strong. And humanity had just been noticed. Military leaders demanded immediate attack. Nuclear launch codes were prepared. Missile silos unlocked. But scientists argued. If it wanted us dead, we would already be gone. The ring pulsed once. A soft wave of energy moved across Earth's atmosphere. It did not burn. It did not explode. But every digital system reset at once. Phones restarted. Servers rebooted. Defense networks refreshed. And when they came back online, something had changed. Hidden in the world's code was a new signal. Daniel found it first. A small file inside the global satellite system. Not harmful. Not active. Just waiting. The same symbol. The circle with the line. Embedded into Earth's network. Connected. Humanity was no longer separate. They were now part of the system. Daniel felt a deep, heavy fear. The first phase erased the galaxy, he said quietly. The second phase connects us. Around the planet, people stared at the silent ring in orbit. It had not fired a single weapon. But it had touched every system on Earth. And it was still there. Waiting. The machine beyond Pluto pulsed again. This time faster. The countdown had begun. Humanity was no longer ignored. They were being measured. And if they failed the test, the sky would not just open. It would fall. The world did not sleep that night. The ring in orbit remained above Earth like a silent eye. It did not move. It did not attack again. But everyone felt it. Humanity was being judged. Daniel sat in the command center, staring at the hidden signal buried inside Earth's network. The symbol was no longer just an image. It was active code. It was connected to the ring. And through it, the machine beyond Pluto. They connected us to their system, one scientist said. Yes, Daniel replied. But connection goes both ways. The room went quiet. For the first time since the collapse, humans stopped reacting. They started thinking. If the ancient system erased civilizations when they became too powerful, then it must monitor them. Track their growth. Measure their technology. And make decisions. That meant one thing. It was not magic. It was logic. And logic could be studied. Across the world, something incredible happened. Countries that once argued over borders now shared data freely. Military secrets were unlocked. Private tech companies opened their research to global scientists. There were no rivals anymore. Only one species. Human. Engineers began studying the ring's energy patterns. Programmers traced the embedded signal. Mathematicians mapped the pulse timing from the machine beyond Pluto. After 20 hours without sleep, Daniel noticed something. The pulse interval isn't random, he said. He projected the data on the main screen. The pulses matched human technological milestones. Steam engine. Electricity. Computers. Nuclear power. Space travel. Artificial intelligence. Each pulse aligned with major jumps in civilization. "It's calculating our growth rate," Daniel whispered. The ancient system was predicting the future. If humanity reached a certain level, the reset would trigger. And Earth would go dark like the rest. General Reyes stepped forward. "So what do we do?" Daniel took a deep breath. "We confuse it." The plan sounded simple. It was not. Instead of accelerating their visible technology, humans began hiding it. Satellites were adjusted to show lower output. Energy consumption was masked. Military weapons were powered down publicly. On the surface, humanity appeared weaker. Slower. Less advanced. But beneath that mask, they built something new. Not bigger weapons. Not stronger shields. But a virus. Not a biological one. A logical one. A flaw hidden inside the embedded symbols code. If the system believed in order and calculation, then it relied on perfect prediction. And humans were not predictable. They built the virus to create uncertainty. Random patterns. False progress reports. Impossible calculations. When the ring pulsed again, the virus activated. Deep inside the ancient system, numbers began to conflict. Growth rates did not match. Predictions failed. The machine beyond Pluto increased pulse speed. Trying to correct. Trying to understand. But humans kept feeding it chaos. Daniel watched the energy levels spike. "It's overloaded," he said. For the first time, the ring in orbit flickered. Its blue glow became unstable. Across Earth, power grids stabilized. Satellites returned fully online. The system was no longer in control. It was struggling. Then, something unexpected happened. Instead of attacking, the ring projected a beam of light toward Earth. Not destructive. Focused. It targeted the Deep Space Observation Center. Daniel's heart stopped. The beam did not burn. It transmitted a direct message. Inside the command room, every screen turned white. New text appeared. Anomaly detected. A second line followed. Human behavior, unstable. Daniel almost smiled. Yes. Unstable. Unpredictable. Creative. Human. The final line appeared. Reassessment required. Above Earth, the ring dimmed. Beyond Pluto, the massive machine slowed its pulse. The countdown had paused. Humanity had not won. Not yet. But for the first time. The ancient system was uncertain. And uncertainty was something it had never faced before. Daniel looked up at the stars. Many were still dark. The galaxy was still broken. But Earth was alive. Not because it was the strongest. Not because it was the oldest. But because humans did something no empire ever tried. They adapted. And the machine that erased civilizations had just met its first real challenge. For 12 hours, the ring above Earth did nothing. The machine beyond Pluto slowed its pulse. Across the planet, people waited. Not in panic. Not in chaos. But in silence. Humanity had shown something new to the ancient system. Not strength. Not domination. But unpredictability. Daniel had not left the command center. His eyes were red, but his mind was clear. "It's thinking," he said quietly. The ancient system had erased empires for millions of years. It removed civilizations that grew too fast. It kept the galaxy balanced. But it had never faced a species that could hide its growth. A species that could look weak, while being strong. Then it happened. The ring in orbit began to glow again. But this time, the light was not blue. It was white. Soft. Calm. Energy readings spiked across every sensor. Military commanders prepared for the worst. Missile systems locked on target. Fighter jets were ready. But Daniel raised his hand. Wait. The white light expanded from the ring like a wave. It moved through Earth's atmosphere. Through oceans. Through mountains. Through cities. People felt warmth. Not heat. Warmth. Every screen across the world activated one final time. The same symbol appeared. The circle with the line. But now it was changing. The vertical line slowly bent. Breaking the perfect shape. Reforming. Into something new. A circle. With a small opening. An incomplete ring. The message appeared beneath it. Protocol updated. Silence filled the command center. A second line followed. Civilization classification, adaptive. Daniel's breath slowed. The final line appeared. Reset aborted. Above Earth, the ring dimmed completely. Beyond Pluto, the massive machine powered down. Its pulse stopped. For the first time since the collapse. The galaxy was quiet in a different way. Not dead. Waiting. Then something impossible happened. One distant star system flickered back online. Daniel saw it first. A small colony world in the outer sectors. Signal restored. Moments later, another system returned. Then another. Across the dark map, small lights began to appear. The machine was not restarting the old empires. It was rebooting survivors. Slowly. Carefully. The ancient system had changed its decision. It would no longer erase growth. It would observe adaptation. And humanity had proven something no other civilization had. Power was not the final stage of evolution. Adaptation was. Weeks later, damaged alien ships began arriving near Earth. Broken fleets. Lost survivors. They expected conquerors. They expected to bow. Instead, they found something unexpected. Human supply ships met them at the edge of the solar system. Food. Medical aid. Repair drones. Earth did not claim control. It offered help. Word spread quickly. The species that survived the collapse was not ruling by fear. It was leading by choice. Daniel stood beneath the night sky months later. More stars had returned. Not all. Some were gone forever. But the darkness no longer felt threatening. Humanity had not defeated the ancient system. They had changed it. And that was far more powerful. The Galactic Council would one day rise again. But it would be different. Because now, at the center of every discussion, at the heart of every alliance, stood Earth. Not as conqueror. Not as emperor. But as proof. Proof that survival is not about being the strongest. It is about being able to change. And somewhere, deep in the quiet void beyond Pluto, the ancient machine remained. Silent. Watching. Not as a judge anymore. But as a witness. The galaxy had collapsed in one night. But from its ashes, the era of humanity began.